Assalamu alaikum everybody, and a very warm welcome to lesson 2 in the second series, the relaunch of the ALADDIN series after, as we mentioned, much demand. So just a couple of announcements before we actually get into the main nitty-gritty of the text. So the first thing is a huge thank you to two new patrons, Imran, and thank you to Asima as well. So those are two of our new Patreons. I want to thank you guys very, very much for your support of the channel, and I really look forward to talking to you guys more. Then the next thing is that the bonus PDF for this lesson, as well as all the other lessons in the ALADDIN series and the Quran walkthrough, they look like this. They're all going to be available on Patreon for all of you guys who subscribe from as little as £3 a month. So all the bonus resources are over there for all you guys to go and get your hands on, inshallah. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Let's return to it. So a quick little recap of what we kind of ended on at the end of the last lesson. So at the end of the last lesson, I think we arrived to the Sahir had said, Intabih, be careful. إِلَّا كُلِّ مَا أَقُولُهُ لَكَ. Be careful, or take heed of everything that which I say to you. Otherwise you will expose yourself to destruction, something like that, to halak, to destruction. So what's going to happen now? Let's get into it, inshallah. So let's have, I'll put the text up on the screen, inshallah, so you guys can see it, and we'll have a little walk through of it together and talk through it. So, سترى في آخر هذا السلم بابا مفتوحا فادخله, or فادخله rather, not فادخله. It's an imperative, so be فادخله. Good. So satara is just the future of tara. Is you will see. The sa is short for sawfa and means you will see. في آخر هذا السلم. You will see at the end of this sulam, at the end of this ladder. Yeah, at the end of this ladder. Yeah, I don't know if if in this particular story it really means a ladder or if it means the stairs. There's other words for stairs in Arabic. I've always understood the term sulam to be a ladder. Good. What will you see? What is the Sahir saying to Alauddin that he will see? He will see baban maftuhan. He will see a bab. He will see a door which is maftuh, which is open. You will see an open door. So what should he do? The fa sort of means so. So, udkhul, enter who? Enter it. The who is referring back to the bab. Okay, referring back to the door. So enter it. Good. Okay, the next sentence. Wa thumma. Thumma is such a useful word, like for all kind of storytelling and stuff. Thumma, and then. And the author very helpfully puts kind of in brackets after what that means. And in this case, it's not a very good explanation of what thumma means. It says hunaka. Hunaka means there, really. You could use either of them. Thumma and hunaka don't mean the same thing. They're not synonymous. But you could say hunaka tara or wa thumma tara. But wa thumma tara means and then you will see. Hunaka tara means there you will see. Anyway, what will you see? ثلاث غرف كبيرة في طريقك. You will see what? ثلاثة. ثلاثة يعني الرقم ثلاثة, the number 3. You will see 3 غرف. We maybe learned in a previous lesson, or perhaps in the vocab for this lesson, the word for a room is a غرفة. غرفتٌ is a room, غرف is the plural. But there's actually a specific different plural if you're talking about the lofty chambers in Jannah. There's another plural which is غرفات. غرفات. But you notice that the numbers always cause students some confusion. But here we actually have reverse gender between ثلاث, because we're not using the feminine for ثلاث, for the number 3, we're saying ثلاثة in the masculine. غرف, because غرفتٌ is feminine, so we're using reverse gender here. And then another thing to bear in mind is that when you use a noun after a number between 3 and 10, you use the plural, which is why we're using غرف, which is the plural, which is rooms. You will see 3 rooms. What kind of rooms? They are kabira, they are big. You will see 3 big rooms في طريقك, in your way, and on the path, on your way. You will see. وعلى جانبي كل غرفة حقائب. Good. وعلى, and upon. جانبي, and upon. جانبي, not with a shadda. I kind of accidentally pronounced with a shadda. جانبي, on the 2 sides. A janib means a side of something. If you say bijanib, it means next to, at the side of something. But janibay means 2. You would normally say janibayni, but in this case we're cutting off the noon, because it's an idafa. This is what you do in an idafa. It's similar to when you might have heard, like in the Quran, many times there are prophets, when they talk about their two parents, they say waliday, rather than walidaini, waliday. And in that case, you do put a shadda on the end, because you're saying waliday, two parents, but of me, walidayya, right? That's how we get that. But here we have two sides. And on the two sides, kulli ghurfatin, of every ghurfa, of every room, haqa'ib. So the haqa'ib are bags. Actually, the author goes on to explain actually what they are. So in brackets, he puts jam'u haqibatin. So jam'u means the plural, haqibatin, the plural of bag. Good. A haqiba, it means a bag. It can be used for like a woman's handbag, as well, or just a generic term for a bag. But the author also says وهي التي يضع فيها المسافر أشياءه, and it is that which he puts in it, the traveller, his things. أشياءه, أشياء is the plural of shay, and the hu means his. So, like, yeah, it is. I mean, it is a thing that a traveller puts his things in, but us reading it as, like, humans in the modern era, when we travel, we put our things in a suitcase. We don't just put our things in, like, any kind of carrier bag we can find. And in my experience, we tend to use the term shanta to mean a suitcase. The plural is shunat, I believe, but shanta. You would accurately describe a shanta as هي التي يضع فيها المسافر أشياءه. And you would say that the musafir puts his things in it. About a shanta rather than a haqiba. But we get the point. They're bags, right? On both sides of every room, there are bags. Okay. Wa jiraron. Okay, so wa jiraron. Where are we? So jiraron are just pots. They're pots of something. And then he obviously explains to us as well. So yeah, he says that they are aw'iyatun min al-fakhar. Aw'iya means like utensils, something like that. Min al-fakhar, from the potter, from someone who makes pottery. Min al-fakhar, yeah, that pottery. Yeah, good. So there's bags and there's another kind of pottery and utensils and stuff like that. But I mean, we could infer from that they're sort of, they're like ornaments, like they're valuable, right? It's not just that they're like people's dinner plates and stuff, it's that they're valuable. That's the point of it. Good. وهذه هي الحقائب والجرار, sorry, and the pots. مملوءة, they are مملوءة, which means full. مملوء means full. Good. Yeah, مملوء. That's quite a useful word actually. It means full. You can use it for lots of things. What are they full of? They are مملوءة بالذهب. They are full of gold. You usually use bih, by the way. You should remember, use مملوء بشيء. That is full of something. Good. والأحجار الكريمة. الأحجار is the plural of hajar, which means stone. Hence الحجر الأسود, the black stone. I believe there's also a type of like aftershave for men, a type of atar as well, called al-hajar al-aswad, the black stone. Anyway, karima in this case is noble. It's full of noble stones, or if we were to translate it into English, we'd probably call it precious stones. Good. Like what? Kallu'lu'i. Kallu'lu'i. The preposition ka just means like lu'lu', like pearls. Good. Wal yaquti. Oh, good. We don't hear yaqut very much. It means rubies. Wal yaquti was zumurrud. Was zumurrudi. That's a nice word. Was zumurrudi. Zumurrud means emeralds. That's the green one, isn't it? A zumurrud. So I know the word in Arabic. I know the word in Arabic before the one in English. Like I know a zumurrud is the green one, which I'm pretty sure is emerald in English. But yeah, a zumurrud. Cool. Okay, so that's everything for our whole passage. So just a little run through as well. I'll leave the Arabic up on the screen as well, inshallah, and I'll just kind of run through what it would translate to very loosely. So you will see in the end of this ladder an open door. So enter it, and then you will see 3 big rooms on your way, and upon the 2 sides of every room are bags. And then in brackets it says, which is the plural of bag, and it is that which the traveller puts his things in it. And as well as bags, there are utensils or pots, which he tells us are utensils made by a potter. And these bags and pots are full of gold and precious stones, like pearls and rubies and az-zumurrud are emeralds, right? I'm pretty sure. Sapphires are the blue ones, I think. Emeralds are the green ones. Cool. Okay, well that is everything. As I mentioned, the notes for that particular lesson, the vocab list, as well as some grammar notes as well, is obviously available on Patreon. So you guys can get hold of that, inshallah, for those of you guys who want to. Another thing actually to bear in mind about Patreon is, for the next 5 lessons of the ALADDIN series, the resource is already there. So those have all been uploaded already for all of the ALADDIN lessons we're doing until the end of September. So if you kind of want to read ahead, you want to learn the vocab before these lessons that go out every Monday, then you can do that as well if you're a patron as well. So that's another cool thing. So that's everything for this particular episode. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you would like this video and you subscribe to the channel as well here on this new channel. We're running low on subscribers a little bit, so I'm immensely grateful to all of you guys who have been here early and supporting the channel in this very early stage. So that's everything. See you guys next Monday for another episode of ALADDIN, if that's all you're here for. But on Wednesday, we obviously have bonus texts as well. So those of you guys who are the real ones and are sticking around all week long, then I'll see those of you on Wednesday. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.